In this video, I put Michelin Guide recommended restaurants up against some of Taipei's most reviewed spots on Google Maps to see whether that Michelin stamp really equates to better food. I'm testing it across 4 dishes: soy milk, soup dumplings, beef noodles, and Mee Sua. First up, soy milk. I compared Hang Soy Milk, a Michelin Guide pick since 2018, against Yong He Soy Milk, one of the most common comparisons you see all over social media. Hang is located right outside this station at exit 3. You won't miss it with the snaking queue in the morning. We arrived at 6:15 AM and queued for 30 minutes before ordering. We ordered the classics such as soy milk and youtiao, as well as an egg with green onion and one of their brown sugar pastries. Interestingly, you can opt for your soy milk to be served in either a bowl or a cup. I didn't expect soy milk to taste much different from what I've had before, but this was so smooth and creamy, delivering a real depth of soybean flavour. The youtiao was another highlight, being light and airy on the inside and crispy on the outside. My only complaint is that it was evidently oily, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're not a fan of oily fried food. You can't really go wrong with egg and green onion, which are soft and fluffy. The brown sugar pastry had a sweet filling, tucked between layers of flaky pastry. We left around 7:30 AM and the queue hadn't gotten any shorter, so there's really no avoiding it in the morning. All in all, the soy milk and youtiao stood out the most. That's it, would I set an alarm for 5:30 AM and queue again just for this? Not really. If I do go back, it will be during an off-peak window, if this place even has one. Next, we tried Yong He Soy Milk and I genuinely think we were at the wrong place. We ordered their soy milk, youtiao, and a pork bun. The soy milk tasted ordinary, something that you could probably get anywhere. The youtiao was overwhelmingly oily, to the point where the oil was basically the only flavour coming through. The pork bun was the best, having a decent amount of sweet pork filling encased in a soft steamed bun, but it was nothing special. My overall verdict: Hang takes the win on this one easily, but maybe give the actual Yong He Soy Milk Da Wang a better chance because that had a much better review on Google Maps. Next up, soup dumplings. We compared Hangzhou Xiao Bao, which has been awarded a Michelin bib since the very first Taipei guide in 2018, against the internationally famous Din Tai Fung. At the first restaurant, we ordered some of their Xiao Bao, pot stickers, as well as siu mai. For the Xiao Bao, the skin was on the thicker side compared to what I expected from a soup dumpling, but it had a flavourful broth with a generous serving of meat on the inside. I preferred the pot stickers, which featured a blend of pork, shrimp, and vegetables, which was juicy and unique in flavour, together with a crispy exterior. The siu mai was filled with minced pork, which had a nice bite to it, topped with crab roll for the added burst of flavour. This was a solid meal overall, but nothing I would specially return for. Next up is DTF, the place everyone told me I had to try at least once in Taiwan. We ordered some of my go-to dishes, including xiao bao, pork chop fried rice, and peanut noodles, along with wonton noodle soup and a lava bun. Here, the xiao bao had a noticeably thinner, more balanced skin to filling ratio, packed with tender meat and an aromatic broth. The pork chop fried rice stood out too, served with a generous portion of egg and a lean pork cutlet that was packed with flavour. The peanut noodles were silky and chewy, coated in a thick and creamy sauce that was so indulgent. The wonton noodle soup had a light broth with dumplings wrapped in a silky skin, served with the same chewy noodles. The lava bun was light and fluffy, complemented with a thick, creamy, molten salted egg filling. Overall, I feel this place gave us a greater balance of dishes, from noodles to rice and dumplings, delivering a more holistic meal. My overall verdict, DTF wins this one. Not because Hang Soy's dumplings were bad, but because DTF's consistency in quality and menu range are hard to match. You can't miss grabbing a bowl of beef noodles when in Taiwan. This round compares a Michelin bib holder since 2018 against one that has garnered over 21,000 Google reviews with 4.2 stars. This Michelin bib place is easy to miss if you don't know to look for it, tucked away in the basement of a building in Ximending. We ordered a standard beef noodle soup, opting for a thicker cut of noodles. The noodles had a nice bite to them, chewy and cooked fresh to order. The beef was tender, laced with just enough fat to melt in your mouth. The broth, however, was the real star here, made from beef bones and a blend of herbs, simmered together for hours, delivering layers of depth and aroma. The next place with over 21,000 Google reviews was just a 10-minute walk from Ximending District. We ordered a standard beef noodle soup here as well, and it looked identical to the one before, thick and chewy noodles along with tender beef laced with fat. I truly couldn't tell much of a difference between the noodles and the beef chunks for these two places, but the real difference came down to the broth. This had a rich and beefy aroma up front, but it faded quickly and lacked that herbal complexity. We actually tried this place first, and on its own, the aroma and richness of the broth were satisfying. But it wasn't until I tried the other that I realised what I was missing out on. Overall, I wouldn't get mad getting served the highly reviewed beef noodles, but if you want a broth with more depth and aroma, go with the Michelin beef restaurant. The last dish we tried was Mee Sua, a Taiwanese rice flour vermicelli served in a thick, starchy broth, usually topped with pork intestines and oysters. We tried the viral Mee Sua at Ximending against this under-the-radar Chen-Xi intestine and oyster vermicelli place. I initially mistook the viral Mee Sua at Ximending for Michelin bib winner, but turns out that it's just really popular. In fact, oyster Mee Sua as a dish has never made it to the Michelin guide at all, so this round is more of a viral versus hidden gem find. For the viral Mee Sua at Ximending, this only comes with intestines, so skip this place if that's not your thing. We visited around 10 AM and there were only 3 people ahead of us. Service moved pretty fast too, so the queue shouldn't be much of a deterrent to visit. Right by the counter is a condiments bar where you can add your own chili, vinegar and minced garlic. The vermicelli came out piping hot, with the broth's smoky, umami-rich flavour being prominent, clearly built on a strong bonito flake base. The vinegar and garlic really elevated the dish, adding depth and cutting through the richness of the broth. The pork intestines also added a chewy contrast. I'm personally not a fan of intestines, but this had a nice smokiness to it. The next place serves both oysters and intestines, so we ordered a mix of both. I have a personal bias for oysters, and this bowl came with a generous portion of them, which was so thick and juicy. The intestines also had a nice bite to them, elevated by the vinegar and minced garlic. My final verdict, if I had to choose one, Chen-Xi would take the win with the oysters alone being worth the detour. That said, if you're in Ximending and pressed for time, the viral spot is definitely a decent pick. Turns out that there is real value behind the Michelin awards, but don't take this to mean that highly rated non-Michelin spots are not worth the visit. It just means that if you're short on time and haven't done any research prior, following the guide is a pretty safe bet. But it's definitely not the only way to eat well here. Just look at our last round where we found an underrated food gem. If you have tried any of these yourself, let me know in the comments which side you landed on.